Side. And then if you want to go front,
Okay.
and then put it, yeah. Ta-da!
See, and this saves me from sending it in.
Yeah.
Now at KFC, get an 8-piece double mashed mega meal for just $16.99. 8 pieces of chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes with gravy, large coleslaw, and a double chocolate chip. All this great food, just $16.99. Bring back dinner and dessert from KFC.
Catch Alan Parsons at the Nugget April 20th and 21st. Welcome to a special edition of World News from Virginia Tech. Tonight, a community unites to share the pain after the deadliest shooting spree in U.S. history.
What has happened to these beloved members of our family has brought us even closer together in our shared grief and our disbelief.
A killer revealed. Authorities say he was a student who began arming himself a month ago. Tonight, the disturbed writings that reveal a troubled soul. Were they signs of the bloodshed to come? The memorials revealing the true character of those who were lost. The students, teachers, and heroes who touched so many lives before theirs were suddenly cut short.
I wish my hair grew that fast.
Tragedy, massacre at Virginia Tech.
You can grow hair, but...
This is World News with Charles Gibson, reporting tonight from Blacksburg, Virginia.
And good evening from the campus of Virginia Tech, where tonight students, parents, and authorities are trying to make sense of what is ultimately an incomprehensible act, the cold-blooded murder of 32 people. And now the people here know it was done by one of their own. Today we learned the gunman was a 23-year-old undergraduate named Sung-hee Cho, originally from South Korea.
Bye-bye.
Authorities are getting some insight into his state of mind after discovering a disturbing, almost deranged note that he wrote yesterday, and other older writings that he left behind. For the families and friends, memorials
Wow, it's really thick.
about the students and professors who died. In their honor, flags around the country are flying at half-staff. Tonight,
ta-da!
their stories.
You feel 10 pounds lighter?
Yes, I do.
The victims, what's happening on other campuses,
Ta-da!
and an interview with the president who came here today. But we're going to begin with ABC's David Fjord.
Turn around. Okay, it's a little shot for you. Okay.
Not the important thing, at least not here.
It's fun, really.
Yeah.
This community to come together, and they did so by the tens of thousands. It is powerful for them.
Your friends walk right past you, you know, they don't recognize you.
They're like, who was that?
Yeah.
Looking for something, anything would help ease the unimaginable pain of these last 24 hours. There were so many students, the Coliseum soon filled. And they began to fill the neighboring stadium, too. They needed this. They needed to hear that the president and the nation understood their pain. Laura and I have come to Blacksburg today with hearts full of sorrow. There were heavy hearts in the stands, too, as the president spoke of what began as an ordinary Monday at Virginia Tech.
By the end of the morning, it was the worst day of violence on the college campus in American history. And for many of you here today, it was the worst day of your lives.
This was the first opportunity for this campus to gather, and the enormity of it all weighed heavily on the students, the parents, and the professors who came today. For one man, it was too much. Music from the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets was followed with a chorus of tears. As this remarkable scene played out, so did another, not far from the school, at Montgomery Hospital, where doctors marveled at their patients, the surviving students, and what they did to save their friends' lives and their own.
He wrapped a wire cord from apparently an something electrical was in that classroom. He wrapped it tightly, and I think he had one of the other students help him wrap this around his leg because he knew he was bleeding to death.
Does it matter in the back how it's shaped?
No.
A human being could smell is death.
One of these days you'll be doing mine and someone will be recording mine.
Not real large. I mean,
That's what I want, is that cut that she's getting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want that short.
you have all the colonies laid on the ground.
And from the parents of the wounded, many of whom traveled several states, there was relief that their children.
See, now's when all the really cool hair accessories will come out. That always happens.
In the hospital,
back at the Coliseum with the president of the college, who's had to answer tough questions about his school's response to the shootings. There was nothing but a standing ovation.
Did it make a difference for you? Yeah, to see everybody there after what had happened, it was pretty special to see all our fellow Hokies there with us, you know, kind of mourning the loss together.
There is a candlelight vigil planned for this evening on the campus, their second chance to come together as a community this evening, Charlie. And coming out of this convocation today, I talked with so many of the students who said their favorite part, the Go Hokies cheer, their fighting spirit certainly still alive.
And we're going to hear that a little bit later. David Muir reporting tonight in Blacksburg. Thanks. Well, now we turn to the killer. As we said, he was a student at Virginia Tech. Sung Hee Cho by name. We are only beginning to learn about him, but long before today, some people had become alarmed by his behavior. So ABC's Pierre Thomas reports tonight from Cho's hometown in Northern Virginia.
This is the man police say is responsible for the massacre at Virginia's largest university. Sung Hee Cho is a 23-year-old English major whose family came to the U.S. from South Korea in 1992. They lived in a quiet community that is now stunned by what Cho appears to have done.
Last year, we might have taken our children to trick-or-treat at the house and never thought anything about it because it's been a safe neighborhood.
Before enrolling at Virginia Tech, he attended this high school, Westfield High. He is seen here in this yearbook photo. Two of its victims also graduated from Westfield.
The principal came on and told us about the two victims from the Virginia Tech shootings, and he said that there were counselors available. A lot of the teachers were grieving and upset today, and you could definitely tell.
At Virginia Tech, Cho was an enigma to men.
He was a loner and we're having difficulty trying to find information about him.
Professor Lucinda Roy, who taught Cho English, said what disturbed her most were his writings. She said he wrote plays about pedophilia and murder. Professor Roy became so concerned she called authorities, but nothing could be done because Cho had not broken any law.
Of course not. Until now.
So it's the same story, huh?
Exactly.
They would say that there's nothing explicit here. He's not actually saying he's going to kill someone. And my argument was he seemed so disturbed anyway that we needed to do something about this.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News they have uncovered even more disturbing writings. Sources say they found a long note in Cho's dorm room, shown here, which describes his hatred for rich students and others on campus. One passage allegedly read, "You caused me to do this." And there was growing evidence, police say, that Cho was planning this attack for some time. Police believe the suspect used at least two weapons during the rampage. A 9mm Glock like this, and a .22 caliber Walther pistol similar to this one. The 9mm gun and ammunition were bought for $571 on March 13th at Roanoke Firearms, about 30 miles from Tech's campus. The owner told ABC News,
Your neighbor's not going to recognize you.
No. He thinks I'm crazy.
I'd be like, who are you?
while Cho's anger and depression may have been evident in his writings, his exact motive remains unclear. Police have been investigating whether he was romantically interested in the first female victim who was killed. Tonight, police are poring over the computer from Cho's dorm room, trying to find more answers, Charlie, to what caused this national nightmare.
ABC's Pierre Thomas in Centerville, Virginia. Well, I had opportunities today to talk with students, among them two young girls who were on the second floor of Norris Hall when the shooting began. They helped jam a table against the door of their classroom to keep the shooter out, and they succeeded. But as they huddled on the floor, pressing the legs of the table against the door, he fired high, sending bullets through the door right above their head. And one boy, who was due to be in class in Norris Hall, but overslept, hitting his snooze alarm 8 times. So many young people, so many extraordinary stories.
When we heard the gunshots from Norris, like initially we thought it was construction, but then we saw the police, started opening their cars, like we realized what was going on. When did you hear the first shot?
9:40, exactly. I was looking at my watch. I was seeing how much minutes were left, for math class to be over with, and right when I looked down, I was like, boom.
and you just hear.
It'll be so much easier to fix though.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
The closest one to the door, so I got up and I went to the hallway. And that's when I saw the professor across me and his girlfriend.
I could have gone and paid it.
A few seconds later, I caught a glimpse out the corner of my eye, and I saw the shooter, and he was just walked out of the classroom and was walking down the hall towards our classroom.
And how would you describe his facial expression, his demeanor?
He was blank, just no expression. He was walking, he didn't raise his gun fast, and he slowly raised it, or at least that maybe he did fast and felt slow.
The students who were in room 205 tell us the show came from
Yes,
the other
well,
end of the
listen right
hallway
now,
and
understand.
opened fire on many classrooms,
God.
including 2 where nursing and engineering classes were being held.
He said, we need to block the door, like he's coming for our classroom next. And we threw a table up against the door, and sure enough, 2 seconds after we threw that table against the door, he was at our handle trying to get in, pushing against the door. Then he started firing bullets through our door, and we're lying on the ground, and they're going over us.
And you could feel him doing some pushing against the door?
I could see it. She had felt him pushing, and he had tried it twice to push it open, and they were like stronger than him. I mean, 4 people or so.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he has bangs, but since I don't have the other part of it.
I think they're bangs. I think she's got them over to the side. Yeah.
What did he do outside your
You have
door?
a sun siding like this.
I usually park on this side, but
Coming this way.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hit the ground right outside our door. He reloaded and started again. And the only silence he heard the entire time throughout all the shooting was when he had to reload.
But do you have any sense how long the shooting continued?
It continued for like 10 to 15
Last time I chopped it off, it was like November. And so this will be good for summer.
For summer, it'll be great.
Last time.
Yeah. They're like, wait a minute, what did I just do?
Yes.
We didn't get out of the room until 40 minutes probably after the first shot. So until 10:20, we actually, the police came and rescued us from our room.
Did everybody stay calm? Were people scared? What was it like?
Everyone was scared but calm. Everyone kept their composure. Everyone was quiet. We knew we had to be silent, because if we were to be loud, we're just gonna he would just know there's life and he would want to shoot more at us. So everyone was quiet. Everyone in my class did a great job.
When he came out, can you still see the gun in your mind?
Yeah. It won't go away. It won't. If I close my eyes, it's there. I know exactly what it looks like. I know what kind it is. I mean, I know what it sounds like. I can't get it out.
But everybody in your class survived.
Everybody.
And if you had to put the table up against the door?
No one would have. There was 10 or 11 of us. The easiest kills he had done that entire game. We know where to run.
Tell me how kids are reacting, how they're handling it, how you're handling it personally.
It's such a huge travesty because now it's like Virginia Tech has the highest killing in U.S. history. And it's like, that's my school. That happened when I was standing outside of that building.
We all grieve differently, and we all grieve in different ways, but I haven't been able to sleep. I can't eat much. My parents are coming down tonight. I've just been with friends and roommates. I can't, we all slept in the living room because I couldn't be alone. I just haven't been handling it very, very well.
And tell me about you. How are you doing?
Just spending a lot of time with friends, and just whenever I see someone I know, giving them a hug, because I've never felt so good before.
Just be with the people that you love. Such great kids. And when our special coverage from Virginia Tech continues, remembering the victims, young and old, some died as heroes, but all of them died too soon. And high anxiety at colleges across the nation, struggling to strike a balance between tighter security and an open campus. We'll be back.
There's a new, I can't even think of what you call them, the show, The Sheer Genius. It's a hairstylist, show, there were 12, and then they all have to do these haircuts, and then they kick one off, and it just started.